One of the ways you can do that is by increasing the weight. Or not. Let's talk about strength gains and breaking through that plateau. I want to say I don't want to go too far in depth on this because this is winter shredding. So the main point here is how to break a plateau in terms of weight, specifically weight loss as opposed to weight gain. Obviously, we're aiming for fat loss. Anyways, for strength gains, breaking that plateau can be done a variety of different ways. Honestly, there's so many that I'm not saying it's easy to break a plateau, but there's definitely enough strategies for you to try that it's gonna take a while, and it's definitely not some insurmountable wall or anything like that for trying to improve your strength. Obviously, you're trying to improve it for a specific lift, more than likely. For example, bench press, and you can increase the reps at your current weight, go for a heavier weight with less reps, combine a couple of those things, going for a shorter rest period. Again, combining maybe a little bit longer rest period and increasing the weight. Or you can also take a look at doing other supplementary exercises and increasing the weight in that. For example, after you do a normal flat bench, which may be where you want to increase your weight and your strength from, do an incline. And if you're already doing an incline, that's great. Maybe switch up and do a little bit heavier weight for that. Try to develop your strength there and then bring that back. Or other exercises that may be a little more indirectly related, like flies, for example, for bench press. Besides that, you also gotta make sure that you're getting in proper amount of nutrients. So making sure your protein intake is good, your caloric intake is good, whether you're a deficit or surplus. And your workout timing is also super key. Are you doing it right before you eat and you're starving, or are you doing it right after a meal and you're too bloated? 2 hours after a meal, are you only having a snack? Is it morning workout, afternoon workout? Do you have enough rest every single day? Are you still sore from your previous workout? Do you still have DOMS? In other words, there's a lot of different factors. Again, I don't want to go too far in depth, but there's a lot of different methods that do exist out there for you guys. But let's get right into weight loss. All right, guys, just finished my workout. Now we're gonna move on to plateaus for the main topic at hand, because we're doing winter shredding, is weight loss. So I'm gonna go over mainly the scenario of where you're trying to lose weight and maybe you've already lost some, maybe you haven't, but you're kind of stuck right now. The basic is really just calories in versus calories out, right? You wanna have a higher calorie expenditure or lower caloric intake. So you're eating less basically, eating or drinking less, whatever it is. One of the major reasons, in my opinion, that people have a plateau or think that they have a plateau and aren't really losing weight is they're not tracking it, right? Check out my last video, I'm gonna put it up there right now, but I go over the tools you can use to track doing your cut, which will help make it way more successful, and this applies here a lot. You don't want to be looking at just how you look, just physique, because that's only one part of it, right? You want to be looking at hard statistics, because that's what actually matters. That's what is actually way more measurable. Yeah, technically you can measure, oh, I can physically see that I'm eating less food, like a less amount, same meals, but just less chicken, less broccoli, less pasta, whatever it is. You can see that you're getting leaner. But if you really want to know for a fact, the statistics don't lie. Just make sure you're accurate with it. That's one of the major reasons. So people aren't tracking their weight every day, and if they are, maybe they're not tracking at the same time. Another thing is they're not tracking their calories. They're eyeballing, which could work. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that, but I'm saying that if it's not working for you and you're just eyeballing your calories, maybe you gotta try something else. Maybe you do have to be strict. Doesn't have to be for the entirety of your cut, but maybe for a couple weeks, just try doing it and see if it works. And if it works, then start sticking with it. Let's say you've gone down to a number of calories where it's starting to get pretty darn low, and maybe you don't want to eat any less food. Like you think like you just can't take that, and you're tracking your weight and you can see that it's already low, but it's not as low as you want it to be. Or sorry, rather you're tracking your weight and it's not going any lower. Either way, you're at a plateau. There are a few other ways you can break it. You can try different forms of dieting or fasting methods, right? I'm sure many of you guys have heard of intermittent fasting. There's also once a week you can do sort of like a protein or just 24-hour fast. Obviously that's going to lower your weekly caloric intake because one day you're having absolutely nothing, which is a huge caloric deficit. But for reasons I won't go into detail in this video, maybe I will in the future, but fasting is obviously a big one. Another thing is maybe you're going anabolic, or maybe you're sticking with higher carbs than you should be. So maybe you should be carb cycling or going keto or some other diet that may work better for your body. And if that's not the route you want to take, you can also just have more intense workouts. Add an extra session of cardio every other day or anything along those lines. But basically, instead of lowering the amount of calories that you're consuming, instead, the amount of calories that's coming out that you're burning is increasing, which obviously means you're at a higher caloric deficit. So that's another way you can deal with it. Similar to strength gains and any sort of plateau there's a lot of other factors that can affect you. So how much sleep you're getting, your water intake, timing of your meals, making sure you have a consistent schedule for everything, including water intake, sleep, same hours, timing of your meal, timing of your workout, timing of your weigh-ins. So there's a lot of factors that measure up for both plateaus, but it's important to take note of all of these. You obviously want to be getting good sleep, and one thing I didn't mention earlier too is stress. Especially now, there's a lot of higher stress levels just in general because of the scenarios that could be happening in your country or your area or for you specifically personally, and that's something that can affect your weight, and it may affect you in ways that are unforeseen. So I would definitely be mindful of that as well, because mental health is very important as well. So I want to leave you guys off on that note. Stay positive out there. I hope you guys take in these points of advice and they help you if you are stuck in a plateau of some sort, whether that's with strength gains or whether that's with weight loss, either one of those two. Anyways, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it if you guys would subscribe to this video, like it if you did like the video, and of course comment if you have any thoughts or suggestions for future videos. I'll see you guys in the next one.